Okay, adding and subtracting decimals. For this video, I'm doing it a little bit differently. I am actually doing this on Khan Academy, and I just wanted to show you guys this because just to give you another resource. You can watch videos on Khan Academy if you've never seen those before. You can actually do practice problems like these here. So I'm just going to run through some of these practice problems and kind of show you what it looks like on Khan Academy in case you guys need some extra help here. Adding decimals and subtracting decimals. As long as you guys can add, larger numbers and you can subtract larger numbers, you should be fine on adding and subtracting decimals. There's just a couple kind of rules. There's one main rule and some tips that I'll show you along the way here for adding and subtracting decimals. Okay, so in this example, you have 63.284 plus 27. Okay, if you guys notice, one of the numbers has a decimal, one of them does not have a decimal. Okay, so if, like on number 27 here, if it doesn't have a decimal, one thing that we can always do is add a decimal at the end of any number. Okay, so it would be, let me turn on my pen here, 27, okay, and the decimal will go right at the end. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do before we add or subtract decimals is line up our decimal points for all the numbers. That way our place values line up. Okay, so instead of, if you see a problem like this, you probably want to rewrite it, okay, to where your decimals are lined up. Okay, so if we were going to do that, we would write it kind of like this. Put our decimal here. Okay, the other little trick you guys see as we're adding these up, okay, I'm probably going to start at the end in the thousandth place, okay, where the 4 is, but we see below there's nothing to add to it. So one of the things we could do is just add zeros in there for any place that we don't, as long as it's at the end of the number. Okay, so 27, if we add 3 zeros here, it does not change the value of that. It's still 27. It's just 27.000. Okay, but now we can add, and it might help you to think of it that way. So if we do 0 plus 4, it's going to equal 4. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 2 is 2. Our decimal, okay, we're just going to bring it straight down from the problem here. 7 plus 3 is going to be 10. Okay, so we're going to put 0 here, carry the 1. Okay, 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, so that would be our answer here. We're going to try that. Get 90.284. Check it, and it says nice work. Okay, it's got more questions for us. Okay, so we can hit this little pin down in the corner with a squiggly mark, and it pops all this stuff up. So you can work out some more problems. So let's look at this one, 54. Okay, plus, and I'm just going to go ahead and line up our numbers right away. So 6.598. Okay, and I'm going to put the decimal point after 54, add a couple zeros in just so it kind of makes more sense. But now if I add these up, I got 8 plus 0 is 8, 9 plus 0 is 9, 5 plus, you got 6 plus 4, okay, which is 10, carry the 1. We get 60.598, so we can X that and go in there, 60.598. Second, and it is. Okay, we're going to try some subtracting decimals here. So on this one, again, we have to line up our decimals. So if we write our numbers out, we got, let me hit the thing here. We have 37.287. And this time we are subtracting, okay, so keep that in mind. So we want to write our big number on top minus the whatever the smaller number is. Now we can put a decimal after the 15 and add zeros, however many place values that we need to. Okay, so 0 minus 7 is 7. 8 minus 0 is 8. 2 minus 0 is 2. Okay. 7 minus 5 is 2. 1 minus 3 is 2. So 22.287. So let's put that in there and see if that answer is correct. 22 point, what was it? 287. And we got that one right. Let's try one more here and see. Again, we're subtracting, so we're going to take put the big number on top, which is going to be 59.7, because that's bigger than 0.446. So we're going to line that up. Remember, we're going to line up our decimals, so put our 0 here. 4, 4, 6. And we're going to subtract those. Again, we can add zeros to the end of our number. It doesn't change the value of our number. Okay, it's just easier to work with. Here we have 6 minus 0. We can't really do that, right? So we have to borrow. Okay, we can't borrow from this 0 because there's nothing there. But we can borrow from this 7, right? So we can borrow from the 7. That becomes 6. And that would add 10 more to the next one over. So that would be 10. But we still got to borrow from that. So we can borrow from that one. Add 10 here. Okay. So now we can subtract. 10 minus 6 gives us 4. 9 minus 4 gives us 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay. 0 minus 9 is 9. Okay, we can even add another 0 up here if we needed to, or we can just drop that 5 down there. So 59.254. Let's see if we're right. 254. All right, we got that one right. Okay, so pretty simple. Like I said, as long as you guys can add and subtract, adding the decimal point shouldn't be that too much harder. You just got to make sure you line those up. You can add zeros to the end of any number, okay, as long as it doesn't really change that. You guys might try to go to Khan Academy and check it out and try some of these practice questions.